Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. And if you want to applaud yourself for being a wonderful volunteer, clap 3 times. Welcome. We're going to talk about some things that are really important to the League. It's called membership, recruitment and retention and development of our membership. We've got some people in here that are so experienced. And let's see, Meg, who's holding up her hand there, that sometimes her earphones in her ear work. Hill Country, who's from Hill Country besides Meg that's in here? They have won the Membership Growth Award for this year with, 88%. And Austin League, Cindy is raising her hand. It was a second for that. Anyone from the Rio Grande Valley? They're a member at large unit, and actually, if you were going by percentage, which our wonderful treasurer there, Miriam Fauché, has figured out, they probably would have won because of the percentage, because they were 3 times. They tripled their membership. But they started at 5, and now they're 15. So Miriam keeps all that data, all that wonderful data. So if you don't think things are right, you can, because she wants to know corrections. She wants to know, let's see, Carol Pino today said I had the wrong email for the league that I've been working with. So it's really important that we keep in connection. Now there's some really important people in here that all of you need to know that really does help also with membership recruitment, and those are either the board liaisons or the coaches that have been working with all the leagues. So if you're a coach, would you kind of just stand up or wave your hand, because we've got Janet, yep, we've got some wonderful coaches. And for those of you who are new and don't understand, the role of the coaching is not the league police. It's we're holding your hand and helping you with any kinds of issues that you need. And some of the big leagues are just rolling along just fine, and we help them as they need. But there are some that are just forming. This year, we have 10 new leagues that are just forming.
Oh.
When I started on the board 4 years ago, we had 24 leagues. Now, 3 of those leagues have reformed. They become leagues of the state. So I've counted those in that. But we're about up to 30 now, and we were in the low 20s when I came on 4 years ago. So thank you, President Trump. I don't know. We also have, you got to look at the sun while the sun's shining. We have some brand new, wonderful leaders of their leagues. Nicole, do you want to stand up or wave your hand? Nicole is from Beaumont. If some of you know or don't know, the state has taken over the Beaumont ISD. Teachers disappeared. Their houses are no longer. And those of us who live along the Gulf Coast know how tragic it is, and still is. In our neighborhood, we have probably a quarter of the people that still aren't in their homes. In the old neighborhood that I lived in, nobody's in there. It is totally dark still. Yeah, and the houses are either totally dark or they've been taken down. So we've gone through a lot, and Nicole has started all this in energy over in Beaumont before we had Harvey, and then we had Harvey. So she's kept things together. Let's see, Barbara isn't here, but your mentor league is Bay Area League, and they have been really wonderful with that. So that really helps with membership. Would you like to stand up and say something about Hallettsville, Lavaca County?
Lavaca County with a new league at large, first ever league in Lavaca County. If you don't know where Lavaca County is, we are include the big metropolis of Hallettsville, Shiner, Yoakum, and Moulton. We are 100 miles between Houston and San Antonio, 100 miles from Austin, 45 miles north of Victoria. And so we have
There's a couple of chairs here. If you...
8 members so far, but we're off on a great start.
And it'll be good for some of you. Do we have any other brand new? Yes, Waco. Yes, thank you. And Edie's not here, who's your coach, but she loves you so much and all that enthusiasm that you've had. Do you want to say something about Waco?
So I think we had disbanded maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and then our current coordinator, I guess is her official title, joined last February, and then we started up meeting. Well, the execs sort of formed in July and went for training in Arlington, and then we had our first public meeting in October, and we managed to have a candidate form in February. I'm not sure how that happened.
And
but we have no structure, so that's what we're working on now. It's like,
yeah,
maybe we need some sort of voting.
yeah.
So we don't burn out.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get everybody, especially the new leagues with real experienced league members who can hold your hand kind of through. And as Chris Carson, our president, was said to the last group, don't think you have to do everything right away. So just start out really slowly and do one good job and begin to make yourself known that way. So you have an agenda today. And I wrote this down from David Brooks from the New York Times this week, who said relationships are the most valuable and value-creating resource of any society. They are our lifeline to survive, to grow, and to thrive. And that's exactly what you're here to talk about today, are those, how to develop those relationships. Now, some of the new leaguers have said, well, we have had great meetings, but nobody will join. Mm-hmm. Well, first thing you have to do is have some kind of a membership form in your pocket and say, here's how you join, because sometimes we don't think about that. And I now just carry a membership form everywhere I go, on the airplane even, when I'm talking to people. So it's really important to engage people right away. So recruitment of people is really critical. Meg, you can hear me because you got new hearing aids. Yeah, I'm really proud of you for that. Because your league doubled, can you say 1 or 2 things that you felt were really successful at growing that?
State board, so I step away from the local league.
But you,
I can.
okay,
Meg.
great, okay.
Meg and personalities like hers and involvement, I want to be a part of that, not a big part.
Okay.
When in 2013, we began moving away from a board structure for the size league that we were in the 20 or so members, and we moved to the ABCs of the streamlining the league. There it is, ABCs for a streamlined league, and moved to a leadership team model with a spokesperson, president, a treasurer, a membership person, voter services, there's another one, webmaster, and then leadership team members at large that only had to meet 4 times a year, sometimes they met more. It took the energy back down into the membership. We did a name change. in 2015 and left Kerrville area and went to Hill Country, because you have to know the culture of your area. And that way, we literally could go have a meeting in Fredericksburg. If you have the name Kerrville, it's not gonna happen in Fredericksburg. So, and it's still very much by personal invitation.
Just exactly what is on the beginning from David Brooks is your comment. So it's that personal connection that is so critical.
One other thing that our group is doing is our president and our membership chair take new members to lunch and get acquainted
Yes, yes.
and build that relationship.
Yes, that one-on-one is really critical. So how many of you that have been in the league for a while do that? Either take new members to lunch or you have a new member coffee or orientation or of some kind. Okay, what league?
Austin.
Austin, okay. Yeah, Cindy's, who wants to talk about Austin? Because you had, okay, yep,
As we have the new member coffees monthly.
monthly, okay.
Before we had been holding them in people's houses, but we're such a large metropolitan area that we're trying to be more central. So we're holding it at a coffee shop and invite them. If someone's not able to make it, then we go ahead and invite them for the next month. But the whole
Great.
purpose is to learn about them. So we give
Yes.
them a mini orientation of the league for 15, 20 minutes. The rest is as they go around to talk about how they would like to be active, within the league. And then we encourage them to fill out a member action involvement form that tells us, this is my skills and talents, but this is my passion.
And that's
This is
so important to find out what they would really like to do, what they could add to the league. And then what's the next step? Who would like to volunteer on the next step?
Get them on a committee.
Yes, get them involved. Exactly, Phyllis. So get them involved, whether it's even plugging in the coffee pot at a meeting, but get some commitment and give them a job. I have to tell you, to a league meeting when I signed in and nobody said anything, and it was like I was a ghost walking around.
My home league, Collin County, started doing this past year and a half maybe, lunch with the league. And it's very informal, it's not billed as a new member, and the notice of it goes out on our regular mailings to our Friends of the League mailing list, which is about 300 people strong. And so people just show up, people who've been curious about the league, and they just show up, and it's very casual, and we all talk and get to know each other, and if league questions come up, that's fine, but we don't have a formal presentation. And we do 2 a month, one in Plano and one in McKinney. And the towns are about 20 miles apart.
Yes.
So they go to the one that's convenient.
Is this a restaurant or what?
Yes, at little restaurants, coffee shops.
So they pay for their own lunch?
Pay for their own lunch, yeah. And some come and just get an iced tea. They don't even eat lunch. But we average 8 to 10 in each location every month. And they're not all new members, some are old members, it's just an opportunity to socialize. And that's been really successful.
It's very important, that one-on-one. Now, some of you are in areas where you have a lot of young new professionals. So how is somebody dealing with the young professionals?
Well, one of the things that we've done is reach out to them individually.
Yes.
When Debbie mentioned that we have a little profile sheet that we ask them to identify their interests, their skills, what they're interested in being involved in. And I see all of them, Debbie sees all of them as our organization and our membership chair. And we quickly can see if there's somebody that's gonna really be spectacular to help us. We'll give them a phone call, set up coffee, meet with them quickly, and get them plugged in. And, they let us know we're really upfront with them about the fact, you know, it doesn't work for everybody. Because some people, their demands of their job, they can't do a lot of things. And then there are others who have
There's some seats.
jobs and a lot of skills, but they have flexibility. So they can meet you for coffee mid-morning, or they can do things. And they can also utilize other people in their organizations to be of service to us as well. So it's very flexible on how each one of them may be involved. The other thing we've done internally is we had gone to our board meetings during the daytime at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we've gone back to switching it to nighttime, where we have opportunities for people who are working in the daytime to still participate as board members as well. And we
Yeah.
accommodate a lot of people by having a lot of
See, there's-
workshops or activities on the weekends. So there are many times we'll have a meeting on Saturday, and a couple of meetings on Sunday, working on projects.
And you have, what, about 250 people in your league?
400.
400, oh, you are, okay. 410 now. Yeah.
But, you know, we have a lot of word of mouth people that have joined us based on our invitation to them, but I'll have to say, our website is the way most people join us, which is great because we capture them right away, we get them involved quickly, and we also get that form filled out, generally speaking, so that we know what their interests are. I would say, you know, we've never really calculated it, but I would say probably 80–85% of our people that join online. And we also tell them to join online because it's so easy to do.
Yes.
Well, that's really interesting because Tyler is finding that we can attract some young people, but we're really challenged about how to continue to communicate with them because they don't answer emails I thought email, I was just up to date on. This is a great communication tool, but they don't do it anymore. They text.
Texting or messaging.
So it's really
Ask them how they do it.
yeah, but I mean, that means you have to have a lot of different categories and skills yourself to make sure that you're able to copy and paste with them adequately.
Or you tap into one of these young people and get them to do it.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly, that's what we're trying to do.
Yep. I had a question right here.
Yeah, so you mentioned getting them plugged in, this is once they've joined, is that correct? Where we're struggling is attracting young professionals at all to come and join. You know what I mean, like getting the word out to people.
Well, you know, in a lot of instances, I think it's us as members being involved in other organizations. For instance, one of the ones that comes to mind real quickly is the LBJ Library has a future forum, which is aimed just at young professionals. And I joined as a member, and there are other members that are older. So just in talking with them one-on-one, and then discussing how they could be involved in what we're doing and how they could have something to offer us. And that's happened more than one. I mean, I can name dozens of those that it's happened to.
One other big question that's come from some of the new leagues and some of the older leagues too, is because we are nonpartisan when we don't support parties or people. What happens when legislators want to join us? Come in. We love to have legislators or political appointees or elected officials be part of the league because they learn too. So it doesn't mean we support them, but they're just members. The Houston League is at Alma Allen. She's been on the State Board of Education. She's a legislator. And we've even had presidents of leagues who have been on a nonpartisan position, like served on the Board of Education, something like that. So we welcome them and encourage them to join too, because they can learn a lot from us, can't they? That there are two sides of issues, and if you keep stressing that. Yes?
I was just going to say that an untapped, perhaps still an untapped professional pool, you you were talking about the nonpartisanship of the league. When I was working, before I retired, I worked for the National Park Service,
Great,
and I know
great.
the LBJ Library.
Uh-huh.
But the thing was, we were not allowed, we were hatched, you couldn't have any visible evidence of any kind of
Partisanship,
partisanship.
that's right.
However, we were also not encouraged to join organizations such as the League of Women Voters. Well, you can thank what's gone on for the last couple of years, that now I've noticed a number of superintendents of major natural areas, not just the historical parks, who are joining and who have taken positions
Wonderful.
in the league.
Wonderful.
And I think it's something you ought to look at, is encouraging federal employees, and especially those people who are involved
'Cause
in
they're-
resource issues.
Yes.
especially
Good
here in
suggestion.
Texas, and
There's a
state
chair
employees
over
as well.
here.
They're a great source of information.
Yes.
And they are anxious to help out and do things in a way that it's not going to cause them any problems with their employer.
And most of our meetings are general information meetings,
Right.
and if they know anything about us, we do all sides of issues.
But
So,
it comes in handy, we just
Really?
did a voter for, I'm the only, as far as I know, I'm still the only person from Gillespie County that belongs to the Hill Country League, is that right? I think I am. We only have, we have all these different counties, but we just, I've been trying to recruit. I found a number of people who used to belong to different leagues and just are overwhelmed with other things. But I'm encouraging that because of the state of the politics in the area. It's really important to try and recruit.
yes. What is your area for the national park? What were you?
I was, I was a Park Service senior manager in regional offices, but then when I came here to Texas on my last assignment, I was the superintendent at LBJ, the National Historical Park. Well, Mrs. Johnson was.
So might you be a speaker to tap for some of these leagues too?
I think, yes, and also on history and preservation law and policy, which is getting kicked down the road real hard these days. There are a number of us who have information and could provide assistance.
She would be a great speaker, so talk with her after.
You also got a
Afterwards.
great one in Austin. She's
Yes.
dynamite.
I mentioned individuals talking with people, but we also partner with other organizations
Yeah.
a lot. We reach out to them, and now they've
Yes.
begun to reach out to us.
Yes.
Of young people, and I mean, we have examples of those who've crossed over and gotten very involved, sometimes just as a volunteer to begin with, and then joined as a member and on the board. Especially a more diverse group of people. We have young Latinas that are now involved with us. We have, it's an openness to work with other people.
Yep.
And they
Yes.
see that what they like, and
Yes.
they come on board.
Yes. So you've said some really important things. Be involved in other organizations or partner with them, and certainly getting to know. Did you know that there are 16 national parks or reserves in Texas? The most recent was the mammoths in Waco.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Natural.
And the National Park Service has now taken over the Alamo and the Missions, haven't they?
No, we have San Antonio Missions as a World Heritage Site, and that's been a
Okay.
national park for a long, long time. But the Missions, the Alamo is not.
Is
part
it
of-
still in the state one? Okay,
The Alamo is run by.
the state. It was the ladies, but now,
Yes, yeah.
yeah, okay, so the state still has
The
it.
Railroad Commission, which
Okay.
works, 'cause I
So she'd be a great speaker.
El Paso just had, our Bethel Park sponsored a bill for us, for the Franklin Mountain,
Right.
Oh.
to be part of it.
Right.
It's a natural, it's not a state park yet, but.
No, it will be a
I-
national,
a
it'll be part
national
of the
park.
national park system.
Right.
I can't keep up on all of these. They're adding things, it depends. Right now, it's a favorite child of the administration, but at a terrible cost. And so people are navigating very carefully around that. We'll take one of these and give you that. So it's something that people, but anyway, I think I think federal employees for years have been overlooked, especially women, and the confluence of Me Too and other political situations have led the agencies to take a harder look at how they treat their women managers, and they're encouraging them now for more.
Fantastic. Well, I'm so glad you're in this session with us. Yes.
I had a question, it's maybe a silly question, but
Tell us what league you're in.
the Denton League.
Okay.
Can you stand up, please? So we hear.
And so, we used to have a membership directory, but we've stopped doing that because we didn't think members wanted to get their name and their email addresses out. So I was wondering if everyone had membership directories so you could contact and communicate with your members?
That's a very good question. Janet?
We do a roster that is distributed to the board only, not to the membership.
That's what we do too.
Okay. Yes.
You know, we have a once-a-year membership directory that's given
Peg,
to all
have them
members.
stand.
Yeah, stand up so everybody can hear you.
Yeah.
You know, Meg just got her new earphones.
But I don't have any, so I need to.
I'm a loud voice. We do an annual membership directory that is, email, phone number, address, everybody. So that's a once-a-year thing in May, and that's printed, published, put online, given to all members. And like you were saying, Janet, we have a monthly roster sent to the board only. But across the bottom, it says that this is
Not to be distributed.
passed out anywhere. It says for LWB use only, and it's at the bottom of every single page.
Yep.
So if somebody was distributing that list, we would be some kind of upset with them.
Yep.
So that's a once-a-year deal.
Thank you.
How about your online? Do you have an online section that's for members only?
No.
So if you put it online, anybody would have access to it, right?
No.
Yes, but we don't have a section of the website that's for members only. It's all public. So that's not on there.
While we're speaking about the website, though, would all of you make a note to yourself to go on and look at your own website sometime within the next several months? I've gone on and looked at a number of yours, and you have information that needs to be updated or discarded. Some of you still have the newsletters from 2009, I think, and 10, but not 2017 and 18. So spend some time after your annual meetings. I know you're up to here right now with that, but spend some time or have somebody this summer who's a good techie go through and look at your website. And you all know that you can have your website through the state league website. And then we're still suggesting, we haven't had any real discussion about Facebook, but I know most people are on Facebook, so there's been a lot of controversy about Facebook. On your agenda for today, I said think outside of the box, and then I have crossed out, we've always done it that way. So with all the new people that are coming in, and some of the leagues have put their membership down to age 16, bringing in and encouraging the kids are so organized right now. So take advantage of that. Down in Clear Creek ISD, where I live, those kids are so well organized, so articulate, and those will be the future leaders. And they keep reminding the legislators they're going to be voting soon. So they are prime candidates to begin to learn and get engaged. So look at them and how they communicate. Building those relationships also with the school districts are really critical. And so try to have lunch or invite social studies teachers and government teachers and talk to them about how the league can help with that. And sometimes they will become your best friends. And those who are at universities, I've already worked with our university with political science faculty. So make those people your friends and show them how we're so nonpartisan. We look at all sides of issues when we study. Yes?
I think that's one of the hardest things for us to get, convince our younger members, like our, not but just, I think a lot of younger people want to have like a single cause to be active about.
Yes, yes.
And so what's great about the league and what I enjoy is that we have multiple positions, state, national, and local levels, but it's not really a great elevator speech. And then along with that, like to know that we are a due-paying organization. It's kind of old school. It's really hard to get people to see the value of that because if they're going to look at a voter's guide, it's going to be on their phone.
That's right.
So that's some of our challenges because we have younger people that come, and I will say that we made a call for people who were interested to be on our board or to volunteer on a committee on our Facebook and got 2 younger people to volunteer to be on the board, and that was successful. But when we're kind of like out and about and like our meetings and stuff, it's harder for us to find a way for it to resonate with people. And I think it's for a mixture of reasons, but it's kind of some of the challenges we're seeing.
So you're talking about messaging. So perhaps we need to make a clearer message about why you would want to be in this organization. The other piece, because people are so busy today, they have so many options, is that old phrase that we have used forever, the one and done. So find out what the new people can do or want to do and have them just focus on one thing. Okay, you can't do, of course, everything, but focus on one thing you can do and get them involved that way. So that one and done certainly works out with students. You might spend some time this summer going back over what the league has said about gun control and arms and that kind of thing. And maybe as a local league, you might want to restudy that issue with a group of students would be really a way to get in with them too. Cindy?
Hey, do you or one of the other board members here know, can you tell us about the reduction on the student membership fees, PMP or dues or?
Do you hear that, Miriam?
Both the National League and the State League decided that they would not charge PMP for students. I think for the National League it was for 3 years, the State League said for the biennium. Sorry?
Yep, that's right.
That was $5.
That's right.
And so there's no PMP for students. For members at large, that is members of the state rather than members of a local league, we will be charging $5 for students, but that's all.
Okay, Miriam, the question came up at lunch about that. When a student comes in and pays $5 in a league at large, because all of those funds now go into their 501c3 at the state level, so does that mean their membership of $5 is tax deductible?
Yes.
Yes. It made sense, but I just wanted to confirm that with you.
I guess the question that the local leagues have is
Do we charge or not?
charge any dues, which we had already been subsidizing through a little scholarship that we'd set up anyway. And by the way, it's the U.S. League that set the age. It's 16 and below.
It is
for
6.
everybody.
Yes, yes.
At the last national convention.
Yes.
So,
It's your choice what you want to charge students.
But we
The
don't have
Dallas
to
League
charge
made the
anything to send
decision
to
that
you.
they're going to continue charging students the same amount they did before.
You're using the word students. What about college students?
Yes, yes. And graduates,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, a student is anybody who is taking at least 6 years in a college, university, or high school.
6 hours.
6 hours.
Or a degree program.
6 hours.
6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
The
Jen.
Collin County League just voted to charge student members $5.
Okay. So there's another piece of information that's on the state website, and that is the Membership Leadership Development Handbook. So if you're new and you're just really wanting to learn a lot, it is a fabulous resource. I printed out several pages of that I thought would be particularly helpful. One is what are the qualities of being a leader? And I thought those were listed were pretty nice. Certainly motivates people. You have a vision and values, positive outlook, imagination, confidence, trust in people, I think is maybe the key one there. Because A, we're a volunteer organization, and B, it's okay to make a mistake because that's how we learn. So if Mary Jane says, you know, I've got a great idea for a meeting, and she plans it all, and then 5 people come, yes, 5 people were interested enough to hear, you know, build her up. But she learned from that, so how could maybe we get more people to it? So help them with that and trust them. Critical perspective, your sense of humor is absolutely so important, isn't it? Agitation. Leaders stir up things too. And a lot of courage. So with each league we have coaches, either a liaison from the board or a coach who's volunteered. Some of you have been in for the league for a long time. We need about 10 more coaches this year, so please email me. Susan's been a great coach for a long time, and Janice has, and where are my other coaches? Meg has. Phyllis is going to be a coach. So it's a really, actually we learn more, don't we, Susan?
Yes.
Yes, we learn more than they do, I think, sometimes, because it's just listening and helping them along with decisions, and somebody that's not in their league. You coach leagues that are not your league. The other piece in here is engaging members to lead, which walks you through some very nice suggestions. And then I love this one called being a welcoming league. Because we get so focused on this meeting and how to run it and so on, we forget that it's the members that we need to engage. There have been several questions that have come to me lately about membership. Gosh, I have great meetings, all these people come, but nobody wants to join. So think about that. And how could you entice them to join if you truly think that it's important for them to join? So I think, again, it's being part of this welcoming. And again, it's that one-on-one connection. So you might ask them to lunch or, yes. Yes, I've got several more. Yep.
Here we go.
And so this talks about a welcoming packet, which I think is so critical, and some kinds of orientation. I think this might be my last. Let's see, here's one.
Do you have any copies of welcoming packets? That's one of them.
Oh, that would be good to pull in.
Forever, and we don't have.
That would be good to pull in. Janice, do you have? Janet, do you have?
We send information, 2 or 3 attachments by email. We don't actually put a physical pack together, but we
That's all I have.
send the rosters
Here.
to a brand.
Oh no, this is okay.
And in a welcoming letter telling them where to find information on our website, including our bylaws and our programs and that sort of thing. So no, we don't put a physical packet together.
But you have a checklist of things that
Yes.
that you
Yeah,
could
that
maybe.
would be helpful. Just
Sure,
share your
sure.
email that you
Yeah.
send them.
Yeah.
Would be helpful.
That would be great, yeah. If you give me your email addresses, I'll send it out.
Collin County's welcoming packet.
Okay,
Is that
yeah.
it? Who else has a welcoming packet? Do you? With Hill?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So all those beginning orientations for those new members, or I'm kind of thinking about joining the league, so you need to find out why they're thinking about it and encourage them and give them a lot of support. Well, I'm in this and this and this, and I'm so busy with this, but perhaps some of the things that they're already doing will connect with some of the things that you're doing. Some of the leagues that have been really successful with meetings this year and in bringing people in, Irving, Janet's league that she's been coaching, is working on homelessness. And they've had some really good publicity on homelessness. Several of the other ones are still working on re-looking at human trafficking, and that always brings in. I worked with Prescott, Arizona, of all places, who was doing a big one on gun control. And they were so good because they had the NRA on one side and Gabby Gifford Association, because she's from Arizona, on the other. And they had 500 people at that meeting. And because of the good discussions that they had on both sides, they got a number of members to join because they really talked about how the league encourages ideas from all sides. We never ask what party you're in. That's your own business. But we really try to look at all sides of issues. With human trafficking, we had a hard time looking at another side of the issue, but other ones we do, and certainly gun control is a big one.
Payday lending, a lot of leagues
And
are
payday lending,
with that.
especially after the government is withdrawing its support for that. Yep. The last page that you have is, I think, the most important as if you're a leader. I'll give you my master copy in a second. The last page looks at how to plan a meeting. And it's not, oh, I know that Miriam has a lot of experience, and so Miriam, just go out and plan about how to do a 501c3 or whatever. She can do it, but it won't involve everybody. So that planning, and as you have your board meeting, your beginning board meeting this summer, that could be part of your board training, is how to engage everybody in one meeting. Who's going to begin to set up where it's going to be, who's going to set up what the speaker is, who's going to set up the publicity for it, what you do before, what you do during, and what you do after. I think it's one of the very best exercises we can do with our leagues as you're planning. So I know a lot of us have been the lone person planning, executing the whole meeting, and that doesn't really bring in your leadership development, does it? So the more people you can engage in all of these activities, the better it is.
Would you explain direct outreach and allied outreach, because I don't think that's self-explanatory if people haven't been there enough.
The direct outreach, and because the direct outreach would be one that you would go specifically to it. The allied would be other groups that would come in and help.
I would think of direct as to your members, how you can.
Exactly, within your,
communicate with your members.
exactly. And then that allied, the PTA would be great to bring in because they have the same issues. Yep, so that's what that means. There's you should have this kind of an explanation for it on the back side too. There should be that. I think I copied that for you. Yeah. So it is, yes.
A lot of times we'll have a new member and, we'll talk about all the great things we're doing, and I'll say, okay, so when's your next meeting? We don't have regularly scheduled meetings, but I heard Meg say they do. I'd like to know how many leagues actually have some monthly meeting, or?
It is as varied as we've got now up to.
Sporadically, based on programs, and not any kind of regular thing. That's what it is.
We have monthly, but we toyed with the idea of cutting back on that and just having meetings as necessary, or when,
And what's your league?
the Denton League.
The Denton League, that's right.
Because it is a lot of work for just a handful of people, and our turnout isn't always that great. But what we've had success with is partnering with other organizations.
Yes.
Like instead of having our March or February meeting, we encourage members to go, or January to go to the March we had in town.
Yep.
And then we partnered with a local group to register voters. So we try to kind of accommodate and take into account our capacity as a board as well in planning our meetings.
And politically, things are happening so fast right now. It's hard to plan. We used to plan a whole year. And it's really hard to do
And
that
that's
now.
hard because there's so many groups and a lot of our members have multiple commitments. And
Yes.
so it's kind of disappointing when we plan a really good meeting and then only a handful of people turn out.
Yep.
So I'm in the Dallas League.
Mm-hmm.
We have unit meetings every month except February in the middle of the summer. And there are 4 units in the Dallas League. And then we have 4
Can
general-
everybody hear her? Why don't you stand up? Because this is important, and
Okay.
I know our time is running out, so.
Okay. I'm in the Dallas League, and we have unit meetings most months, not February because we have our big event fundraiser, and then not during the summer. And then we have, in addition to our main fundraising event, we have 3 other general meetings. One's the annual membership meeting, and then 2 general programs of whatever the group agreed on the year before to do. And I'm the VP of program, and I'm new at this, and it's like culture shock. But I want to get to more programs, but we're not there yet. And because the need for information, even for the members, is huge, not to mention the general public, so.
And the role of the units, those leagues that have units, those are usually the bigger leagues, is changing also. Because it used to be that was the role to study the issues and come to consensus. And since our focus is and needs to be on get out the vote, we need to get people to vote smart.
So do you have the same program in all 4 units?
That's a good question.
Yes, our unit meetings are for information to the members. And so we agree at the annual meeting on what the subjects are gonna be. There's a whole process of program planning. But, so we have, in our voter or in our email blasts, there is information about what the subject is. And it just has worked out that we've had things like SB4 from the city and from the police department's point of view, and that was one of the better ones that we did.
Do you have them day or night or mixture or?
They occur, one is on the second Wednesday of the month in the morning, one is on the second Thursday of the month in the morning, then at lunchtime on Thursday, and then in the evening on Thursday.
Houston has the same thing, either day and night, and
Yeah.
different days too. Yep.
Yes, different locations, and we get professionals in the evening.
Okay, Phyllis is going to be the last one.
Okay, San Antonio does 3 informational meetings a year. We were doing monthly programs, and then the decision was made, instead of doing a monthly program for 25 people, let's do a quarterly program for
Bigger.
150 people, which is what we've done. And they've been very successful, and we decided our annual meeting, last year it was transportation, education, and water. So those were the forums.
Big ones.
Then we do a fundraising meeting, we do our program planning meeting, and our annual meeting. So it's not necessarily every other month, but it ends up to be 6 meetings a year.
Thank you. There's so many great ideas. We need to culminate. Thank you, and we will just continue the discussions, and I appreciate it. Email me.
Can I email you to get a email?
Absolutely, absolutely.